In this video, we'll draw an isometric figure of the box with the circle on it. So we need to be able to draw at the correct angles and use the correct layers. I have selected the outline layer, which is the red one. There's a circle in this drawing as well. Now the thing about an isometric drawing is it must be drawn at the correct angle. Now when I clicked and I project the lines, I am seeing several angles, but which one is correct? Isometric drawings are done at 30 degrees. I've just drawn a 30-degree line and typed in 50. Now I'm going to draw a vertical line, but I am checking the dimension to see what is the height of this line here. So the height of this line coming down is 50. And you'll realize that the height of the front is the same as the height of the end view. So I'm just dimensioning that, and from the 30-degree line that I did already, I'm going to click the end point and project up. Now make sure that you have selected the line tool. You are clicking the end point of the line and it's coming vertical at 90 degrees. Type in 50, enter. So from here, on the left side, I want to make sure it's parallel to the line beneath it. Remember that line was at 30 degrees. Over here, we will have our 150-degree angle. Type in 50, enter, and then project downwards to complete the box. So we've just completed that front side, so we'll go to do the end side. Make sure that it is at the correct angle, and we're going to repeat our line. It's not going to be flat. 150 degrees will be our correct angle here. Type in 50, enter. Now we already know what the height is, but these two lines here are the same. So I'm just highlighting to show where the lines are in the isometric view and where they are in the orthographic view. So you can see that we're drawing one figure of these three views, and the last line here is the top line, which is the last one. So we are on the end view. At this point, we have to draw this back line on the end. And that line goes up at 90 degrees and it is 50 millimeters long. So we have in two of the end lines already, but we're missing that left line there. So I just click the end point, I pull up at 90, type in 50, enter. Now from here, I can connect it to the front part of it, but I'm just highlighting to show that it is the same line that we have drawn. So the top part or the last part is a line that is 50 millimeters long. Now this line is parallel to the one beneath it, but I'm just showing the dimension so that you can understand what the correct measurement is. And in this case, 50 millimeters. So I have just shown how to change the layer. But the last thing here now will be to project from the left to that bottom line at 50. So we have a part of the front finish in the isometric, which is the top. You can see for the plan view, the line at the bottom of the plan is already drawn in the isometric. Also, the left line is already drawn in the isometric. So we need to do the back line and the right line. So we select our line tool, 30 degrees, we type in 50. That is our back line that is in. And we have our last line to do, which is our right line. And I simply connected them. So from here we have our plan view, which is these four lines. So remember, our plan looks at the top of the figure. And we have those four lines at the top. Now we're missing that circle from the front view. So always make sure that you draw your center lines in each figure you do. So I'm changing to a center line layer. And the thing is that the center line is in the middle of this 50. Autocad can give us the midpoint, which I used just now, to draw that line. But we can also measure to find out where it is. Now because the box is 50 millimeters long, the middle of it will be 25. But as I said, AutoCAD already gives you a tool to find the midpoint. But I'm just highlighting to show that the tool is very accurate in the middle of 25. So we're going to draw the horizontal center line now, the one that goes across. So I've found the midpoint and I just project it across, and I'll just check the measurement to see if this line is indeed at 25 millimeters in the middle. So just checking the measurement, and it is 25 millimeters. So the midpoint is correct. I drew the incorrect line here, which I'm going to delete. Remember, to delete, you click the line and you press delete on the keyboard. So the line is 25 millimeters. So always check to make sure that the measurements of your line are correct, of your lines are correct, and always make sure that they are using the correct layers. Now the circle here is done at a radius 15. So as I go to dimension this circle, the dimension tool that I'm using provides an automatic dimension. But to find the radius, I click the down arrow just now. So the radius of this circle is 15. Now if we wanted to draw the circle in this view, you can click circle and click center radius to make sure that your circle is drawn at the radius. But if you look at it, you will see the circle looks quite odd. That is because the circle is 2D, but we really want to have a slanted or an isometric circle. So an isometric circle will be called an ellipse. Type in ellipse, as I just did, and then select isocircle. Ellipse, isocircle. The instruction says to specify the radius. So you click the center and then we check isograph at the bottom. Isograph has three options. The top, which is this one here for top of your drawing. It has the left, which is for the left side of the drawing, and the right. You would realize that the circle that we're drawing is on the right, so the right one is going to be more appropriate. And then you follow the instruction which says to specify the radius. So you type in the radius 15 and press enter. And your drawing would now be correct. Just change your layer. And you can see that it is quite similar to what the views are on the left. So I'm just checking over the measurements and I'm checking to see if everything there lines up. And this is what you need to do to ensure that your drawing is correct. So I'm just checking all the sides of the front with the front view and the isometric, and I'm going to check the sides of the end with the end view and the isometric. Remember that those yellow broken lines or yellow dashed lines are hidden detail lines, and hidden detail lines show a part or piece that is missing or hidden. So in the isometric, you will not be able to see the hidden detail lines, but in your orthographic view, you always make sure that you do that. Now the last thing I'm going to do for the sake of the video is to highlight where the views are and what directions they're looking in. So this end view is looking towards the left side of the object, but you realize that the arrow is pointed towards the right of it. So as you're looking to the right, you will see the shape of that end, while the front is looking towards the left side of that drawing. So just make sure you try your best to understand when you're drawing a figure and you're looking at an isometric figure, you ensure that the sides are drawn in the correct direction and you are showing exactly what will be seen. So I'm just copying the words across and just drawing in arrows for that. Feel free to watch over the video and even pause it and go over.